Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is This Morning on ITV. You can call it TMI. You'll be right on point. Sunday's edition. And of course, we're going to start off this discussion with what is happening right now in the Labour Party. Yes, the crisis rocking the Labour Party. The fight between NLC and LP. Over the week, it was like, last week rather, it was like a tale of a house divided against itself. A father saying no to the first son, the father saying yes to the father. Just day or day, make a day my day in pidgin English. Now, how would this really help the party? How did they get to where they are today? What are the causes? Do you feel this can be resolved? Oh, these are more. We'll take a look at this installment of This Morning on ITV. Well, all the way from Germany via Zoom, he is the president, yes, of Nigeria. That's Voices of Nigerian in Diaspora. I hope I'm correct, Benjamin Mayor. Yes, he was given a mantle to be the president of the Voices of Nigerians in Diaspora. Benjamin, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition. Appreciate your coming.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations in your new office. You know it means double work, right? It means double work. You have to double up efforts.
It's double work. I know I'll be equal to the task. I believe through God, through Christ that strengthened me, that I will be able to deliver.
All right. I'm rooting for you, okay, to deliver. All right. With me here in the studio, Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, I have a human rights activist, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Solomon Ejiogbe. Solomon, welcome to TMI. It's been a while I have you on set with me.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
A very good morning, and viewers at home.
Yeah.
Listen, you actually wanted to give me a leave.
Oh, really? You sure about that? Maybe you know the reasons. Maybe just me. But all the same, it's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Very close to him, he is a youth mobilizer, an entrepreneur, politician. Join me to welcome Samuel Ehigato, a.k.a. Aras. Welcome to TMI, Sunday's edition. I appreciate you coming.
Good morning, Wilson, and good morning, viewers.
All right. It is no news that for some time, or let's say some time ago, what you call long time ago in fairy tales, many youths were part of the obedient movement. Whether they be in APC, be in PDP, be in NNPP, you just name it. They said, look, we are in the obedient movement. And that really gives steam to the Labour Party. But right now, with many things happening, so many factors being put into consideration, it's like that movement is losing steam. And of course, to dampen the effect, to dampen the strength, to dampen the power of a political party, there seems to be an imbroglio between the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Labour Party. People are asking right now, is this the beginning of the end of the Labour Party? Are they going to fight to finish? What are the factors responsible for this fight? I want to start off with you, Benjamin Mayor. I know you've been monitoring the trend. You've been listening, you've been watching, and you were one time a very strong member of the obedient movement. No denying that fact. So what do you feel about this trouble right now rocking this particular body, NLC cum LP? Take it up from there.
Thank you once again for having me. Obedient movement and Labour Party two of them are very different in nature, and their area of responsibility is totally spread out. Like you said from the beginning, during the obedient movement or during the presidential election, there were youths who were drawn from different political parties across Nigeria, not minding where they come from, to be part of the obedient movement. So obedient movement is not a political party. So obedient movement is not the Labour Party. As it seems that what is the current problem that is currently ravaging the entire Labour Party to the both states and the national, the issue of allegation of corruption and misappropriation of funds and not following the constitution of the party while they are planning the civil convention, boils down to the fact that the civil obedient movement has machineries. That's not the civil obedient movement. Those executive civil obedient movement as a machineries that they can rely on to win their election. which is totally absurd. It's not something that every right-thinking human being would have been able to. You know, when it comes to politics, people have to be very strategic in making statements and going out of the line just to have that victory that we are all looking for in a political party. After the presidential election, which you know that the presidential election is different from state election. That is what is currently happening in Edo State today. The stem is not dying. The obedient movement stem is not dying at all. Obedient stem remains the same. We are answerable to some few leaders. And the few leaders who obedient movement actually coined out from, which is His Excellency Peter Obi, who his name was coined out to form an obedient movement, and some other leaders like Mr. Valentine Ozibo, Professor Pat, who told me the Big Tent, Madam Aisha Yusuf, Dr. Oseloka Obazi, and the host of others. So if those people would be able to tell you they are jumping on the stage today to campaign for any or contest for any political position, these are the people who say we can trust, we will vouch for them. But at the national level, at the state level. But when it comes to state level, do not expect the same strength, the same level of energy, the same level of interest, the same level of the zeal that you experienced with the presidential election to uncall at the state level. Because at the state election, a lot of individuals who came out from different political parties to vote for Peter Obi have their own personal interest in their personal candidate that they are presenting. For example, I am not a member of Labour Party. I resigned on the 25th of November 2023 from Labour Party, and I have my reason of doing that. I did that because of the problem that is currently affecting the party today. I saw it 5 months ago. The reason why I did that was that I wouldn't want my name to be associated in this problem that is currently facing them right now.
All right.
You know? So that is for that. So
okay.
The obedient stem, I repeat, is not dying down at all.
Okay. I will come back to you, Mayor. Well, you heard his own analysis. He said the movement is only different from the Labour Party. Some may choose to differ. Let me tell you that the reason why they choose to form the obedient movement is because Peter Obi is a member of the Labour Party, then the Labour Party and the rest of them, like, one, and then tell them, you just name it. But let me come to you, Samuel. You got to go to the human rights activists. Yes. Once upon a time also, despite the fact that you were a very strong member of the APC, you were carried away also by the movement because, youth inclined. They have this passion, they have this fire, they have this zeal for good governance, they have this zeal for, bringing about turnaround in governance in Nigeria. And right now there is an issue in the party. From what Mayor said, he said it since this 6 months ago. And it's just playing out itself right now. Don't forget when the treasurer also of the Labour Party accused Aburedo, he came to defend himself. Do you think that this whole spin-off of what she's been talking about, take it up from there?
Thank you very much, Wilson. Obedient movement, as he rightly said, is a total different thing from Labour Party. We got to first of all separate that. The obedient movement came because of the revolutionary beliefs of Nigerians, youth, that it is time to make a difference. It is time to change Nigeria. It is time to make a better Nigeria. There was this fantasy, these assumptions, these beliefs we were all having as a youth, that come, let's do this right time. Just like what happened with APC and PDP. PDP was there for 16 years, and it's like everybody was fed up and said, come on, we're tired of this, let's see change. So the change mantra did a lot and brought APC to power. And this was what the youth also thought, that with the obedient movement, they could be able to do. Just that as a single entity, as a single person, you can't contest an election. You need a party to be able to come out to contest. So Labour Party was just a platform for the obedient movement. But there's one thing I want to tell you is that obedient movement on my own, as long as the presidential election was over, the presidency emerged, it died a kind of a natural death.
Is it really dead?
In the spirit, listen, it died a natural death in the spirit of some people, because many felt, there's no way we can get justice. in this country. And many felt gave up. That is why you saw that the elections that took places in states after the presidential election, there was nothing like obedient movement. There was nothing like Labour Party anywhere to be found. They were down in almost all the elections. They even came to the third position. So in that situation, it tells you that it was a system concerning the presidency. But in the state, it is an individual situation now. In the state, you want a party. You want someone that you believe in, that you trust in, that he will do the right thing for you. It's no more about changing the country. It's not about changing the system. It's about having a system that you believe in. So this makes people that those obedient are now falling back to their party. Because like in my party, APC, we have received a lot of them coming back to join, because another problem, I told you about a few months ago, Wilson, Labour Party is just a growing party. It's a new party. There will be a lot of crises. There will be a lot of problems, because we have this issue too with APC when we came. You know, there was a lot of this financial problem here and the accusations here. And they wrangle because, you know, to form a new party in Nigeria, you have forces that are against, that have forces that are for you. So like what obedient movement is passing through, the Labour Party is passing through, it's like there are some forces against, and there are forces with the party. That is why you see the issues of corruption. You know, I told you about a few months ago that this issue of this corruption that the treasurer have brought out is going to affect the Labour Party very seriously. There was a Labour man that was saying, no, you cannot, it's not going to affect them. No. There are some allegations when you bring it on the national television to the people's ear, like the people that believe in obedient movement, they don't want to even hear corruption. They don't want to even hear money have been stolen, because they believe this is what they wanted to come and change in the country, to come and make a better Nigeria. So now you're now coming up with the party they believe they want to use in changing this country for a better Nigeria. It's now also as corrupt, if not more corrupt, than the old parties that they are running from. The old parties are not even one better organized. They are just running here and scatter. This one is fighting this one is fighting. The national is fighting national. The other one was arrested the other day for murder case. All these issues. It's a young party. It will definitely affect Labour Party.
All right.
And it is affecting Labour Party in Edo State as well.
We'll come to that.
Because if you look at the primaries, there's wrangling all over.
We'll come to that.
And they have not been able to bring themselves together and say, let's settle this issue.
All right.
So I think it's affecting them a lot.
A lot.
The corruptions and all those issues, it's a bad omen.
It's a bad omen.
It's a very bad omen.
Solomon Ijogbe, it's like you are nodding your head in affirmation. It's like you are deep in thoughts. You're like, what in the world is going on? We have an Ajero versus an Abure of the same family. Because some are saying the political arm of Nigerian Labour Congress is the Labour Party. Some are saying Nigerian Labour Congress owns the Labour Party. You get to hear the exchange of words between Ajero and, of course, Abure on the national daily. If you want to be the chairman of the Labour Party national, resign from being the NLC chairman, they can't compete. All this put together in a climax where the secretariat was locked up by the Labour Party and, of course, by the NLC. No meeting took place in that premises that day. How did it get there?
As far as I'm concerned, whether you call it an Abure faction, an Ajero, now we have left the issue of who is Labour Party leader or is not.
National chairman.
National chairman. I'd said that is an issue of birds of a feather. Wayoma Dakonima Burial. And I went for that to say that the issue of Labour Party, that the Labour Party was registered by the NLC, but that didn't give NLC rights over the Labour Party, because they have a constitution that spells out leadership, roles, and activities. And that you now have Labour Party running its own thing, which is also different from the obedience thing. The NLC actually never supported the Labour Party during the presidential election. I didn't hear Labour Party, NLC, calling out workers in Nigeria to go and support the Labour Party candidates. No, they never did. Instead, they were playing the ostrich. They were looking for white and brown envelopes as usual. Because that's what they do when they call out protests, and tomorrow you hear them.
Anyway, you just don't have proof of that. Please let the guarded. Okay?
I just mentioned is an open fact. It's as clear as the biblical meneteke of a sea, audible to the deaf and visible to the blind.
Since you don't have proof of that.
And I agreed in total with Mr. President when he said that the Labour Party is not the voice of the Nigerian people. I mean, NLC. I'm an activist. We have had our experiences with Labour. I mean, NLC. Because you really may not be able to blame it on the leadership of the NLC at the state level, because their directive comes from top to bottom. But that aside, on the issue of the Labour Party and the NLC, if you ask me, I'll tell you the NLC is overbearing.
In what ways?
You don't jump into the activities. Look, for instance, let me use an ITV as an institution. An ITV is an establishment of one man, the very respected chief Igbenedion, the Esama of Benin. I'm not sure, and I can repeat very emphatically that I'm not sure that he interferes directly into the affairs of the ITV. Instead, if he has things to do, he has anything he feels he wants to impute, he goes through the management of ITV. I'm not sure Chief has called Wilson any day over, because I know that there are sometimes I've come here on this station to talk about his party that he belongs. That's why I can say I'm not sure. The daughter has participated in the election, the sons have participated in elections, and will come here to analyze their candidacy and their participation. Point being made here that when you have issues to address it through the leadership, through the organs of the party. That is not to say that the party's leadership, as it were, the abures and whatever, assent or have a clear hand. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a case of pots calling kettle black, vice versa. So that for me is that the Labour Party and the Nigerian Labour Congress are two different entities. Just like my brother said, that the obedient movement, the obeism, is totally different from the Labour Party.
All right.
So these three structures, we must get it right, that there are three different structures. For instance, when NLC calls for strike, does Labour Party go to strike with them?
No.
When we went on protest as civil rights activists with the Nigerian Labour Congress, were there Labour Party members in that protest? Did they even come as much as to sponsor the movement with a placard or billboard or flyers? No. So because and we would not have been involved if we saw that the Labour Party was becoming part of the movement. That's just to, for instance, tell you that there's a clear-cut difference between Labour Party, Nigerian Labour Congress, and the obedient movement.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Solomon. Well, Mayor, I believe you've been listening. From what Solomon said, he said that Nigerian Labour Congress in this matter is overbearing, that they have followed due process, talk to the escort of the Labour Party rather than going all out to lock up the secretariat. From your own analysis, is the NLC in this particular issue overbearing by interfering directly with the operations of the Labour Party?
To be candid with you, I want to say the issue of NLC and the Labour Party, I wouldn't want to dwell on that because these are separate entities. These are separate organization itself. One is a political party, the other one is an organization recognized by government who actually has nothing to do with politics from the beginning. So I would say since the Labour Party was, let me say 80% the Labour Party was from the NLC and they formed the party according to their claim. I believe they have the reason, they have their own reason why they are making agitation and things ought to be done. You know, in a situation, rather in an era in the government when nobody is following the rule of law, anything goes. I remember, let me refresh our memory. Does anybody remember Dr. Doyin Okupe? Dr. Doyin Okupe was a member of Labour Party. and he was one of those frontliner in the obedient movement. And along the line, during the presidential campaign, something happens, like his past dealings allegation came up, and Peter Obi, as clean as he is, immediately, I believe they had a discussion, and the man, being in his own magnanimous attitude, and he said, okay, for the movement to continue going, for him not to derail the obedient movement, for him not to have issues with the Labour Party and obedient movement, because the energy was really high, you understand? The man stepped down. He stepped down from his position, and at the same time, he allowed the movement. He never made any statement. He never castigated the party because he saw something. You understand? In my own opinion, I think Julius Akwe will have honorably resigned. Because the way it is right now, he has not only dented his own image, he has a case to answer later in future. If, like I said, if the country, Nigerian laws are actually functioning and people are adhering to them, the security agency will have swapped into action, asking questions, investigating what happened. All of us know that this is politics. Nigerian is all about politics. Even anybody being sick, people would like to play politics with it. Abuja was arrested in Edo State. In less than how many hours he was released. You want to tell me that order was coming from state? No, it was coming from presidency. There is a lot of things going on in Edo State in Nigeria that we don't understand. You can't tell me that Abuja is acting alone. So you cannot be a judge. You cannot be a judge in your own case. You will have been accused of something. You have an allegation of, you have a corruption allegation against you. You are the one setting up a panel that's supposed to have suspended. You set up a panel yourself. And this panel is supposed to be a panel that will have evaluated look into the issues surrounding the allegations surrounding whatever happened. So okay, now you step aside, let us do our own investigation. He was the one that set up the committee, set up the panel, and at the end of the day, they have found him is competent and all that. But mind you, you see, there are so many problems that might be on the pipeline that we are yet to find out, or that they are yet to reveal in the public space. The NLC are in agitation of one thing or the other, while Labour Party, under the leadership of Akwe, Julius Akwe, is trying to hold a secret convention. And that secret convention has been moved from 3 different locations as I'm talking to you right now. Yesterday, another memo that came out, they are now moving the convention to Anambra in a week. So it was moved from Abia State to Inewi. This convention, obedient, who are actually the standing pillars, the pillars holding Labour Party, are not included. I say categorically, are not included in this convention. They are not even allowed to participate. They said the people that want to participate must be 2 years older in the party and the rest of it. If you want to say it like that, no problem. That means you are not taking the obedient people for granted. But why is it a secret convention? Why make it a secret? Why not? This is a political party where everybody, if the political party is viable, everybody would like to swing onto it and join. But the way things are happening right now, is losing interest. The party itself is the one losing interest and losing strength. And people will not like to join a party that is having an internal rancor and also having external rancor with another association, which is the NLC. Now, you don't want to tell me that people who were elected through the Labour Party, who are in the House of Assembly, who are in the House of Representatives, who are senators and the National Assembly, suddenly they are totally mute. They are not saying anything. And most of them are even pulling out from the Congress. From the Congress, they are pulling out. They are saying this is not right. Let's do what is right. I don't want to go into what happened in Abia State because that is something that is not official. You understand? So, in my own opinion, entirely, I would say the only life wire that is holding the Labour Party at this moment, that is even making Labour Party appear on the social media or any of the mainstream media, is that Peter Obi is still there. Peter Obi and some other key members in the obedient movement, like I mentioned earlier, are still there. They have not officially said, I am done with Labour Party. The truth be told, there is no Labour Party without obedient. That is just the truth. The truth is bitter, but it might affect some people. But I'm saying this the way it is. There is no Labour Party without obedience. And there is no obedient. And if Peter Obi said obedient, we are going somewhere today, everybody will pack his alone, including me.
So you're saying Peter Obi is the anchor man of the obedient movement in the Labour Party?
That's the truth.
He's the one that formed
It's this team.
We listen to him. So and anybody, any party man telling you this is what we want to do, it doesn't work like that. It won't work like that. And somebody made mention of Edo State. I heard about that. The obedient movement in Edo State is not a movement that was formed under Labour Party. Before the 2020 general election, remember the statistics. Labour Party does not have up to 800,000, 800 people registered members in Edo State. But when all of us moved from PDP alongside with Peter Obi to Labour Party, that was when Labour Party name was like started coming up. You understand? It's like the money juice. And when it started getting to 9, 8 o'clock and the juice starts fizzling away, that is what is happening now. So when Peter Obi joined Labour Party, some people said, Obaseki this, Obaseki that. Obaseki and Peter Obi, they are very close friends. We cannot separate that. They are very close friends. They were from the same party before. Obedient, there's a saying goes that Edo State is the headquarters of obedient. Fine, nobody disputing that. But a party that does not have members, that does not have the registered physical members in Edo State, I can tell you, as at the last statistic and those things that they were done, they said they have not less than 20,000 members. And I am telling you categorically that the vote that Peter Obi got from Edo State, where he won with a landslide, and it's on the public record. Peter Obi won Edo State with a public landslide.
All right.
Those votes were coming from PDP and
APC
Labour Party members.
Yes.
All right.
So if anybody tells you,
They're coming from artisans,
All right.
market women.
there is a total different separate entity.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Mayor. Well, you heard him. The underlying factor is said with all this internal wrangling, with you fighting each other, and of course with all the disagreements, allegation of corruption, Abure should have done one thing: resign.
Does it exist in Nigeria?
I want someone to react to that. He said that's the honorable thing to do.
Yeah, we said.
In other countries, would have resigned.
In Nigeria,
The resignation does not
in
exist.
Nigeria and in the world, we all know what's the right thing to do when there's an issue. You understand?
Yeah.
But it is very, very difficult in Nigeria to see somebody that holds power want to relinquish that power to somebody else. Because he resigning as the Labour chairman, Oga, his case will be easy done and cleared. He might even go to jail.
He was to resign.
Yes, he might even go to jail. But when he is there, still facing the people to fix the issue, to investigate the issue,
Sympathy.
there is always this way you must bend it and say, okay, there was a mistake there, but it's okay, we can vote of confidence. The way Nigeria usually do it. Because you cannot tell me somebody that have corruption allegation, have murder allegation, and is still the chairman of a known party. If he does not even resign, the Labour is supposed to have even sacked him. Suspend for investigation. So it is not really that Abure is not doing the right thing now. The party himself is not doing the right thing. Because when you have a such person with such allegations, these are not mere allegations. These are allegations that the treasurer came to her. These are allegations that the police even arrested him for. So it is not something that was done in hidden. I expect the Labour leaders, if they are sincere to themselves, to suspend for a proper investigation. If his hands are clean, he can come back. But if his hands is not clean, he should be sacked. A new confession should take place, and a new president will be elected. It is a very simple thing. But in Nigeria, the power that be knows how to fight the corruption that would have affected him. The power that be know how to fight the law that would affect him. The power that be know how to defend himself against what he sees as a crime but can be overlooked. That system is already imbued in us. That's why you hardly see when a governor has a problem, he hardly resign. When a minister have an issue, hardly resign. Most times in Nigeria, you sack them. You sack them.
And they'll be sit tight.
Yes, because like what he was saying about Orukpe. Orukpe was let me say 1% out of 100%.
Because he resigned.
Yeah,
One of the allegations,
it is hardly
like, you
done.
know,
It is hardly. Just check in the years of our political eras, of the new democracy, how many leaders, whether a commissioner, whether it's a minister, whether it's an appointee of the government, that have been involved in scandals, that have been involved in corruptions, even billions, which has resigned. Majority have either been sacked or been arrested, like our CBN governor. We have many of them.
Former CBN
governor.
Yes.
We know how he's still fighting with the money he has against the system that want to convict him. So we have this mentality to fight the law, to suppress the law, not to take place in our own institution, in our own self-made power. So Abure resign. You wait there. If he wants to resign, I don't believe he will be planning all this conversion here that was no. They change it again to this place. He is still fighting to come back again. That is why the tricks about the conventions, the here and there about the convention. He don't want to leave that seat, because once he leave the seat, the nyash will open.
Now, please watch your language. You're on air, please.
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
You know, it's a parable that says the foul nyash will open.
Please, because it's secret to be revealed. I think that is better.
When the head blows, the foul nyash will open.
No, secret to be revealed. So please, let's watch our language.
It's a parable
I
now.
know it's a parable. I know it's a parable.
So he doesn't want the secret to be revealed.
Yeah.
The same thing that we have with our governors. When they are leaving power, most of those governors that are not performing, not performing governors, so because we have performing governors, like Umahi, I will say he did very well in Ebonyi State before he left, and he did not dictate the successor. He left it for the party to decide. You know, there are some of them like that. We have Rufai that left, he did not dictate. So there are some that really they perform, they know they perform, so the performance will speak for the party.
Did not dictate.
Solomon, listen, you are not the answer,
you are
please.
interjecting, my brother.
You are interjecting to come
So
to.
what we are trying to say is this: majority that never perform, they always want a stooge to take over, to cover for them, because it is just. I will take Edo State as an example.
We'll come to that later.
Let me take Edo State as an example.
We'll come to
Let
that.
me just shoot it to
No,
it.
we'll come to that later. Hold on, Eras. Hold on, we'll come to that. I'll come back to you. Hold on. What now? Let me go to Solomon Idiogbe. Well, like what you started saying that it doesn't happen in Nigeria. You hardly see anyone resigning despite the opinion of Benjamin Mayor. He said he should just resign. That's another thing to do. But now he now said movement of convention from one state to the other. I mean, who are they really hiding from? Because rumors not making the round is that maybe if it's confirmed right now that Obi wants to move because of what is happening in the Labour Party. Take it up from that angle.
My brother, resignation does not reside in Nigeria according to Edo Pikin. Resignation is your guy, part of them all resides in abroad. Does not reside in Nigeria. No Nigeria executive, legislator, or judiciary member that wants to resign, they don't resign. Whether selected or elected, whether appointed or approved, they don't resign. They stay put, they die there. The only thing why you saw what's that her name? Is it Fumi or so? Former finance minister who did, because she lived in the UK. So she still had that UK blood and UK mentality. Because
of the NYSC scandal?
Yes.
Okay.
Let it be a normal Nigerian politician. I pray. You will see 17 NYCF fake forged certificate and document corroborating the fake one. Nigeria, the headquarter of it all. That's why I talk now. But coming to the issues, I do not think that Abure does not have a right to fight back. It's just that this syndrome in Nigeria, laws are meant for the weak and mighty, for the strong and mighty against the weak and feeble. In developed lands, laws are meant for the weak and feeble against the strong and mighty. But in Nigeria, it's meant for the strong and mighty against the weak and feeble. If you have your money and you know your ways around within the corridors of power, if the executive can't do it for you, the legislators will help you to access the judiciary to do it for you. It's a normal norm in Nigeria. So if you know your way, the normal Nigerian parlance will say, know your way, not because. So it's a normal thing. And then talking about moving conventions, it has become a norm. It's become a norm. Look at the PDP primary that was just concluded, where a certain candidate felt that he was not going to get his way at the normal convention of a state. He as an individual moved his own primary to a private residence. And then he's coming to tell you that he did primaries. And we're even hearing now that by Tuesday or thereabout, he's going to jump ship. Because
they are just rumors making rounds.
I said we are hearing.
Okay, fine.
I said we are hearing.
Yes,
so,
okay.
That's just to tell you that he knows that it is a finish. Just like was said on the cross of Calvary, that it is a finish. It's finished. But having said that, that's just by the wayside. The issue of creating convention at different parts is not new in Nigerian politics. And that's to agree. It's a diversionary measure. It happens across political parties. It's not a Labour Party thing. What is shameful, disgraceful, annoying
is equal to the interest of a party.
To see a party that the Nigerian people, the Nigerian youths, the artisans, the non-partisan Nigerians saw as an alternative, ridiculing itself and dancing naked in the mud water of disgrace and shame. Painful. Painful. However, the issue of allegations of forgery, stealing, attempted this, attempted that, subversion, diversion, are just allegations. And not until it is proven in a court of competent jurisdiction, Abure is still, as at now, a free person to do whatever he wants to do. Don't forget, he's a lawyer. And you know that there was a joke said by one man that there's a disagreement, a joke anyway, between God the Father and the chief of the hell. And when there was this argument, God now said, if you think you can do what you do, I will sue you. And devil now said, how will you get a lawyer? Because all the lawyers will be in hell. Because
anyway, all lawyers will not be in hell.
No, I said it was a joke.
Okay.
That it is assumed and presumed that lawyers are liars. Point being made here is that we know that when some of us goes to read law, we learn how to lie and paint black white and white black, as it were. But that's just to tell you that Abure is smart. You may not understand why lawyers are referred to as learned gentlemen, because they read, they attempt all phases and facets. If you as a mechanic bring a matter for him, go and study what your rules are and speak as though he's a mechanic. When a doctor brings, he go and study the rules and speak as though he's a lawyer. When a pharmacist brings, so that's why they are usually referred to as learned men. Points being made in all of this grammar I have spoken is that Abure understands politics and politics, and he understands laws and his applications. And that's why it is not going to be very easy to think that you can push him all aside. But having said that, I would say personally that Abure is not doing well.
Okay, your own opinion.
I will say personally
yeah,
that Abure is not doing well. That to whom much is given,
much is expected. Thank you.
For me, I think that it's hard time that the Labour, like I said earlier, and I hold that opinion very strongly, that the Nigeria Labour Congress are bearing on the issues of the Labour Party. But I also think that the Labour Party itself, as a party, has not done well. It's not doing, like Benjamin mentioned, it got to a point when the thing was getting sweet and tough. The Labour Party people will tell you, when you want to make corrections on some of the actions, that you are not a member of our party, you are obedient. You are not a member of our party. And that alone sends some signals.
Okay.
That these people self not different from the
other party.
other party.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, all the allegation that people assume that lawyers are liars, just an allusion, just, a presumption. But in our clear, the essay, this is what they're saying, that they're learned because whenever they have a case in medical field, they have to go learn the rules governing medicine. If they have a case also in mechanical field, they go learn the rules governing mechanical activities. If they have a case also bordering on broadcasting, they come and know the rules of engagement in broadcasting. That's why they're called learned. Yes, they are good. They are smart. It doesn't mean that they all go to hell or they're all liars. No, it's all about rule application, how to bend the rules and all that.